if you're American when you go into the bathroom and you're American when you come out, what are you when you're in the bathroom?
What?
European.
That's very good.
That one's really good. That one's a real winner.
Riddle me this. That's very nice.
That's really funny. You know how last week I was like, it's funnier saying it out loud? That's the same. It's 2 in a row that are funnier than I've said it out loud when I've read it in my mind.
Oh, I'm trying just not to breathe too heavily. Otherwise, I'll cough out every system. Oh, right. Sorry. Intro. Go on.
Here at the glass table, we're just like you.
I like to play football, I like to watch football, and I like to talk about football.
Yay! I like to play football, and I like to watch football, and I like to talk about football.
But we do things a little bit differently around here.
Life could be a dream, Jared.
Stupid sexy. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the glass table. It's episode 94, which is the equivalent of probably what I don't know. What's a 94?
94.
Who won the premiership in 94?
I was just trying to think that. I was literally just in my head like, who won the premiership in 94? Might have been West Coast, maybe? Might have been West Coast first.
No, they won one early.
I'm going to look it up.
92, I think they won.
I'm going to look it up while you continue enjoying.
Anyway, well, it's episode 94. We're back. If you're expecting any football talk or anything to do with your football club, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen until the end of the episode because we've got two things to talk about. And one of them is worth $2.5 million and the other one's Naz.
I was about to say. And the other one's worth $2.5 million.
Well, he's worth the weight in gold, but, we can't put an exact number on the person that's number 10. But before we do anything that's going to be number 10 or number 7 or anything to do with I said last week and I watched it back and it was piss funny. My roulette numbers are 7 and 10. It's phenomenal.
It was a great call.
I'll have my moments.
It aged even better now too.
I know, it's really, really nice. But the two blokes that we're going to talk about this evening or this morning or whenever you're watching are stupid sexy.
Yep.
So that's my segue.
Bang.
Bang indeed.
Stupid sexy.
Yeah, well played. While we're in the stupid sexy segment, it was West Coast won the 1994 grand final. They dominated the Cats. They beat the Cats by 80 points, 143 to 63.
Why couldn't it be another 40 points more?
I was going to say. Needed one thing. Dean Kemp on the Norm Smith.
Wasn't there a Kent that plays for someone else?
Dean Kent played for St Kilda.
There was another Kent. Oh, Kent Kingsley from the Cats.
Yeah.
First name basis, not a last one. Anyway, I'll kick stupid sexy off because I feel like what you're going to talk about will be the longest stupid sexy moment ever. So
it'll lead us into the rest of what we're talking about.
We've structured this episode so well.
It's a perfect flow. We'll be fine.
That if we don't get it right and done within an hour, then there's something severely wrong with us.
But you're stupid sexy.
My stupid sexy this week actually played the Saints on Friday night. It obviously was a close game, the best game of Friday. Because there was only two of them.
Not a high bar.
Not a high bar, but there was definitely a bar that was hit. Now, he does play for Essendon. And I really liked it because he's been through a bit. He was obviously a first-round draft pick, and he was one that just stood up and unexpectedly stood up. And I'm talking about Andy McGrath. Mm-hmm. You get tasked with captaining the Essendon Football Club when you have 47 injuries. Your captain is out and your best player's out. And you're coming up against a Saints outfit that should be good, and it was good, and they put up a hell of a fight. And 3 names that are listed here on disposal-wise are Redmond, McGrath, and Durham. But McGrath in particular, being the captain, he just, from the moment he started that game, was incredible. His pressure, his tackling, ability to win the footy. He showed signs of exactly why they recruited him. Now, I don't know if it was just because he played in the midfield, stood in that role. He's been playing cross halfback majority of his career, but I thought his game solidified any sort of credential he has as a leader, as a future leader, but also as a player. And that Essendon fans should have faith in him going forward. Because if that's the type of performance you're putting out as a skipper, then you're going to be a future one, because it was fucking stupid sexy. And I love a captain's performance. And Andy McGrath was really, really good.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think you're absolutely right. It is arguably the hardest job in footy right now is trying to captain that Bombers side, because there's nobody in there. It's very skim owned, and then you take out Merritt, you're one guy that could win the ball, and it's like, oh boy. And St Kilda had every right and every opportunity to roll Essendon by 10 goals plus on Friday night. However, like you said, the 3 names you said there, in Durham, Redmond, and McGrath, just said, we're gonna work. Like, we're gonna do this. We aren't here to just roll over. And they did this also last week against Geelong as well. This isn't the first week. They've just been like, we're not gonna roll over. They gave it a crack. And McGrath, especially earlier this year, copped a lot of shit for. There was talks of him being the worst number 1 draft pick ever. Now, that is one of the big over exaggerations in the history of the game, in that he is one of the worst number 1 draft picks ever, because he's not. He's absolutely not, and he won't be. He has played a tough role, and he might not be an absolute superstar, but on his day, he's really, really good. And Brad Scott spoke after the game that, McGrath had a role against the play that we'll talk about in a moment, where it wasn't just about winning the own ball, but it was also trying to combat. And the play that we're going to talk about, obviously, who is Naz, has had a massive month kind of thing. Didn't have as big a game as he has had kind of thing. And that is also the fact that McGrath is not only a good midfielder, but he's a decent enough defender, and he knows enough about defending a direct opponent. And he did, for the most part, on Friday night, have that impact kind of thing. And Brad Scott said after the game, Naz had his moments, but he wasn't great the whole time. And he's absolutely right, because McGrath, for the most part, was really, really good. And captain's performance nearly got the Bombers over the line. Arguably should have. We're probably the better team for 3/4 of that match. Very good from McGrath, and showed that, like, he isn't a waste of a spot. People were talking about trading him and stuff like that. I think he's worth it. And when the Bombers are up and at it and have all their players back instead of running a VFL team out there, definitely worth it. And I absolutely agree. I thought it was fantastic.
Hard to say that they probably should have won, because they did take some opportunities, but Andy McGrath was sensational, and definitely played a good part on the bloke that you're going to tell, I think, because I don't know who else could be as stupid sexy. I mean, you're a Saints fan, you work for the Saints, you paid to do it, and you probably paid here to talk about it. So there you go. Who's your stupid sexy? JT?
Very quick turnaround. This one's a pretty obvious one, I think, because this is obviously going out Tuesday. We're recording this Monday night, the day of the biggest story of the year in terms of just a pure footy story kind of thing. It's been the biggest story for the Saints for the last year, flat pretty much, of what this guy's going to do. And at about 12:30 today, it was announced to the world that Nazai Wanganeen-Milera was staying at the St Kilda Football Club for another 2 years, which is astonishing. It was astonishing to be there. It was one of those moments, and I said this to you earlier today, one of those moments in a couple of years talking about, man, I was fucking there that day. I was there the day that Naz signed on. And it has come after. And, you said this in your TikTok today that you posted. It has come after a month or 2 months of some of the best footy we have seen from an individual player. Like, winning games off his own boot, moving into the midfield and just dominating, and, like, no teams having an answer for him kind of thing. One of the most exciting players this league has seen in a long time. And he signs on to give a full fan base just hope. Like, I've never seen a whole singular fan base all at once get this just injection of hope than at about 12:30 today. And it was like one of the coolest things to witness ever. It was very, very cool to be there. Very cool that he signed on. Like, very, very cool. And for the perfect time too. Like, there are a lot of people that talk a lot of shit about long-term contracts. Kane Collins, you are absolutely the main person that I'm talking about right here. He hates a long-term contract. And 2 years, I think, is not bad, because it is literally, it's a show of faith in both himself and the St Kilda Footy Club in that in 2 years' time, if the Saints are struggling like they have been over the last couple of years, he doesn't have to stay and no one's going to blame him. But also in 2 years' time, if Naz isn't as good as he has been this year and has been found out a little bit, whatever the case may be, he won't get as big a pay packet kind of thing. It's the perfect show of faith between the two sides and has shown that, you said it today, loyalty exists. Loyalty exists in football and it's very, very cool.
Loyalty is the most respectful thing in footy, I think. It's, there's been, players that could have gone, players that could have left and didn't, and they had a show of faith and they become icons of their football club and they become players that you remember forever. Your Joel Selwoods, Travis Boaks, Matthew Pavlich comes to mind from Freo. There's constant players that come through the system that just don't leave. No. And I would much rather be a star in your own right, but stay loyal to the football club. Because at a footy club, you could go 3 or 4 clubs and you could think, they're going to be successful. It's a big risk.
By the time we get there, exactly right.
Yeah. If you're part of a system that you believe in, and I think the Saints have a system where they have very much a lot of potential.
You can
see exactly what the trajectory is. And whilst they have teetered in the last few years and everything like that, there's a sign of faith. And I think Naz, doing the 2-year deal, you said it perfectly, sets himself up perfectly for a couple of years' time where he's a restricted free agent, can go anywhere he likes, could just go home. You know for a fact that you're not going to be dealing with anyone other than South Australian football clubs in 2 years' time.
It'll be those two on the Saints. That'll be it.
So, and I think it's just a perfect thing. And he's playing some great footy. And yeah, you're right. You might have a drop off. You might not. You never know. There could be more to come.
Exactly right. It's one of those rare things where just everyone is happy. And like I said this to you before as well, it is one of the most universal just acceptances of people just being happy that he's doing it. There's opposition fans that aren't the SA-based teams or St Kilda that are like, this is good for footy. It shows that loyalty exists, shows other players that it means more to believe in a system. Adelaide fans are just happy that Port didn't get him. Port fans are just happy that Adelaide didn't get him. And Saints fans are happy overall, which is really, really funny to me. No one loses. Everyone wins in this situation. And it's pretty great.
Football wins. Football wins in this situation.
Football wins in this situation, and it's fantastic. And it's just a big win. I also think, and like this could be a sort of dual stupid sexy with another player that, while on the field he may not be as good as he once was, but he'll still show his flashes. Bradley Hill, right? And I will, and this needs to be known by every single person in the AFL. Bradley Hill is one of the most influential players in the AFL right now. Nazaya wanganeen-milera does not stay at St Kilda if it's not for Brad Hill. He brought, and we have one of the largest Indigenous cohorts in the league. Port Adelaide actually has the largest, and St Kilda's the second largest. He has brought every single one of those young players under his wing, and they are all like his sons. Brad Hill was there today when Naz told Ross and Corey Enright that he was staying. Brad Hill announced it to the group with his daughter Harriet, who calls him Uncle Naz, and his son Charlie calls him Uncle Naz. He literally brings these people in. Brad Hill is the reason that Naz is staying at St Kilda right now, because he has just created this incredible family environment, and it's so special. And another thing that Brad has had to go through is when he signed his contract at St Kilda, he signed on big money. At the time, the $800K contract that he signed was one of the bigger contracts in the AFL, and he spent every year afterwards getting lambasted. No matter how good or how bad he was, he spent every year afterwards with the Saints fans fucking hauling down his neck, being like, you're not playing good enough kind of thing. So I'm absolutely certain that Brad said to Naz, do not sign as long a contract as I did, because, I've just had to cop it. And Naz will still get that. He'll have an off game sometime in the future, and people from all around the league will hound him, being like, oh, you're paying $2 million for this guy kind of thing. But he is worth it. And in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, $2 million is going to be a normal amount for players of Naz's quality. I'm absolutely certain of it. The new CBA came in last year. Absolutely certain that in 2 or 3 years' time, the $2 million is going to be the next $1 million. All the good players will be on that kind of money. And it's very cool to just see that he is the first, and he's worth it. He's 22 years old. He's going to be unbelievable, and it's very exciting to see.
I think people forget that is when you're at that age, he still has 12, 13 years in the system, longer if he holds up. He has so much upside, so much potential, and it's like the decision to go to a club is the same decision for a player, and clubs making that decision. They can look at the potential, the upside, and what they can achieve.
Yep.
10, 15 years down the track. Same when looking at a football club. Look at what can you do in 2 years, what can you do in 5 years, where are you going to be? And I think assessing all options, there is a strong chance that St Kilda and Port will be similar. If not, St Kilda will be better next year. Adelaide could have a fluke year. He's assessed all his options. I don't think, and you said it before, like St Kilda fans have this hope now, have this thing, and it's just an incredible feeling to have. They feel like every Saints fan will exit this year winning 4 close games, could be a potential 5th, feeling as happy as they can, knowing they have the number one thing they actually wanted this year.
Yep.
You win. It's a great win. And you can invest next year.
Regardless.
And a $7 fucking membership, which I did.
I was going to say, we have a new Saints member across the desk from here, the $7 membership, which I have it on good authority. And by good authority, I mean I work at the football club. This membership was selling like fucking hotcakes today. It broke our site, firstly, which was very, very funny to me. Broke down our website. It was absolutely fucked. And then our phone lines were going off the hook because we said just call our number. It's gone insane. We're going to break our membership record within the first 5 rounds, I reckon, next year. It is ginormous. And you're right, it's hope. That's what it is. It is hope. And we could lose by 200 points on Sunday, and Saints fans will be like, all good, man. Don't worry about it. You're sweet.
I can't believe. And not only that, the Saints are going to have. TDK comes in, adds a new dynamic, you'd assume. Signing Naz is terrific. You know that all these rumours and everything be put to bed. Cal Wilkie, potential captain next year. Rowan Marshall's going to be a number 1 ruckman. But you haven't got the biggest signing. I know you got Naz, but you haven't got the biggest one. Marcus Windhager.
Still a big signing. But anyway, this is another one. Naz and Windy are best mates. Naz has just re-signed and Windy goes, sick. All right, I'll be there. See you then, kind of thing. I think at the end of this year, or when the trade period and free agency period end, all the guys that the Saints expect to stay, I think are going to stay. TDK probably comes in, Lee Kalia probably comes in, and Saints fans go, holy fuck, what has happened there?
Let me tell you something. Hold your judgment to the first 5 rounds of next year.
Yeah.
Because you can't just go out and get talent and expect it to pull out in the park.
Oh, Port Adelaide.
Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. I'm like that Italian guy at the press conference. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Gennaro Gattuso.
At least I know that if my club sucks next year, I have a $7 Saints membership where I can attend 3 games.
3 home games. Woohoo!
You know what? Here's my guarantee.
Yeah.
I will 100% make sure that I attend 3 St Kilda games in Melbourne next year.
You know what would be really lucky? Is if the gather-round game that the Saints play is a home game. That'd be really lucky. I think ours was away this year too, so I reckon they'd give us a home one. Actually, no, because we're playing the Giants, so it would have been home. I don't know. Might get unlucky.
The Saints have the same song as Sposs, so...
Close enough.
I know the Saints last won their premiership 175 years ago, but we do go marching in together.
Welcome aboard. Good to have you. Speaking of Port Adelaide and St Kilda, this is, I think, the perfect segue into basically what is going to be a fair also chunk of this podcast. We're speaking about Naz. And we speak about another man, and this is from Dave Lloyd, or Albertson Power on Twitter. And I thought this is a really lovely tweet that I saw, and we had this conversation before as well. And it fits perfectly into what you were saying. So Naz, obviously, and I'll read this tweet out. I'll just read it out word for word. Some serendipity in the signing of wanganeen-milera with St Kilda FC happening in the same week that Port Adelaide star Travis Boak retires. Travis had the lure of family, of home, but he chose loyalty and commitment. That decision wrote him into Port Adelaide folklore. You read it like that, and it's hard to even not think that Naz looks across at Boak and has very strong Port connections. And while he didn't go there for those connections, he looks at that and goes, I could maybe do that too.
It's a pretty selfless thing to do. And I think when Trav did it as well, Trav did it as a 2-year deal, signed on, became captain of the football club. There was one thing that Trav said in an interview. It stuck with me for forever long, and I'm sure it will be in a clip or a highlights package down the line. But he said, "I couldn't leave the place as it was, knowing that I could have changed something." When we talk about outcomes and jumping to conclusions, and this whole footy media base, isn't it? It's jumping to what could happen instead of it's what if instead of what could.
Yeah.
So I think the ceremonious feeling around Naz signing for St Kilda and demonstrates into the fact that the club that he could potentially gone to, the bloke that is the legend of the club is retiring because he stayed, because he was loyal, because he was committed. And there was evidently the year after he signed and stuck around, Port went on to play one of the greatest seasons they've had, the most enjoyable, making a semi-final and then a prelim the year after. Trav played in the granny, but it was one that's been burnt out of my mind. But it's a great comparison, and I hope Naz, even 2 years down the track, whatever the case may be for the St Kilda Football Club, he says to himself, if I've made a difference in these 2 years, I can make a difference again in the next two, and the next two, the next two. And then all of a sudden you're 30 and you're like, there's no point leaving now.
And there is this constant thing in my mind of they are such a similar football player, not in terms of skills, but just in terms of them as people. Widely known as just very naturally lovely people that love footy, that just want to be with their mates, that just want to have fun. I think that when Boak re-signed those years ago, he went, and like you said there, you said you couldn't leave the footy club in the state that it was, kind of thing. And he knew within himself that I could be an icon in this football club. I could be one of the greats. I want to be that person. And I think there is every opportunity that Naz has seen that. Naz has seen every supporter that goes to St Kilda, every fan with the "We love Naz" signs, the "Please stay Naz" signs, and gone, I can take this football club where it needs to go. And that is way more than money. That is way more than just going home. Naz can still see his family all the time. The good thing about football players, they live a pretty good life. there's a pretty big off season. You can hang out with your family almost as much as you like, kind of thing. He, very similar to Travis Boak, has realized that he can take this football club to places that it hasn't been in a very long time. And it is, like that tweet said, like we were talking about before, it is very, very nice that this has happened at the same time, because it's like a passing of the torch. It's like take your football club there, son. Go and do it.
Seeing the Cody Rhodes.
Yep. You can do it.
Take
Go and do it.
This company for what I made it and make it your own.
Yeah. And it's different teams, but it's the same vibe. It's just guys that just want to play footy and want to be with their mates. That has been Naz's message the whole way through, and that's Boak's message. It's the group, it's the family, it's the coaching staff, everything. You know, everything about it is so similar, and it's very, very nice to witness.
It's one of those things where you look around the league and you look at all the players that are potentially could leaving. I understand homesickness. I understand wanting a different change of scenery or a lifestyle change or something you might not be fitting in or familiar. Every contract situation is so unique.
Yep.
But I look at someone like Naz and I go, I have so much respect for the for the commitment that you have and not changing for the benefit of yourself.
Yeah.
You could be happy, go play footy with some mates that you've had forever at Port Adelaide. But is there going to be true success? And now that you could be rewarded with success at St Kilda, I look at a change in what Harley Reid could do. Harley Reid's in probably a worse position with being in WA, being in a football state that's so excluded from everything else.
Starved. Yeah, been starved over the last few while.
Being starved, being put in a place where it's falling to pieces all around you, and you are the star attraction. You are the main piece. You are the person that as soon as you got signed, you got put on the front page of the paper.
Yeah. You
got made a rock star over there. So what do you want to do? It's what do you want to make of yourself?
Exactly.
And I just think it's phenomenal that so many things get highlighted in footy that it's like, oh, he's just a good player. But the team that drafts you makes you the player that you potentially can be.
Yeah.
It's just up to you to make the full difference in that.
And, you know, Naz's first year, he was a sub in his first ever game, which is something that I find really funny. It's something that we all hate, but Naz's debut is the sub. And he wasn't fantastic until sort of last year. He started getting pretty good. You know, he was fifth in the BNFs, had a pretty good end of the year. And then this year, obviously, he has exploded into this footballer. That's why when people hang shit on Harley Reid for not having 25 a game, I'm like, fuck, calm down. All right. Like, everyone just needs to chill out a little bit. He's going to be fine. It's not only about the player that you are and you signing on, it's also about what you can attract to your football club. Like we were just talking about before, Naz signing means that all these older guys are like, yeah, all right, I'll stick around. Let's see if we can win a flag kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. And Trav Boak, when he signed at the time, and when these signings came across that I'm sort of thinking of, like your Paddy Riders and things like that, might not have been the success that they ended up getting kind of thing, but they were pretty big at the time. Like, these players were coming over, Monfries, like Paddy Ryder, Jack Watts made the move over kind of thing. Like, there was a few, Tommy Rockcliffe. These guys sort of came across because they were like, Trav could probably lead us there kind of thing. It was like an attraction to get you there. And the Saints especially have had a lot of trouble in recent years of attracting that high-level talent. When you can develop a high-level talent and then keep that high-level talent, shows huge steps. And so it's not only big for you, it's big for your footy club. And I think that's what Trav has basically put into the world over time, is just fucking stick fat and we'll get there. Just come with me and I'll carry you there.
I think the great thing, you mentioned Brad Hill, and it's like with Trav, I see you mentioned it perfectly put, like players that have come across, and there's been so many, so many. But I look at what Charlie Dixon has done, and he ended his career and he played the career that I think everyone sort of
very good Port player, like a great Port Adelaide player. Yeah.
Paddy Ryder comes across, Angus Monfries, Stevie Motlop, Jack Watts, Tommy Rockcliffe came across, and he's now good mates with Trav. I think more in particular, I look at the Brad Hill comparison with Naz, and I go Trav Boak, Connor Rosie, Zach Butters.
Yeah.
Xavier Dersma had high praise for him. Jason Horne-Francis. They went to overseas together, did his high performance camp. Now, Trav has an influence in the AFL, I think, that is so underrated, and because he plays for Port Adelaide and has been in South Australia, is so looked over. He's trained with the likes of Marcus Bontempelli, Christian Petrarca. He's had Jason Horne-Francis go over there. He's taken players with him. The young kids went over there all together in their second, third year. And it's like the influence you can have as a person. And I love his own mantra now. It's human being first, athlete second. Because if you're enjoying yourself, enjoying anything you're doing, you're going to become better at what you do.
Exactly.
And Trav has had that. So I think Naz has got a great comparison there. And Trav's the person, if you can develop yourself around, is pretty fucking good.
You literally said it perfectly there. And today in the interview with Naz, he said a line, and it immediately, I was getting these Boak flashes. And he says, we were talking about Ross, and he said, Ross has helped me develop as a player, but most importantly, he's helped me develop as a person. And there it is, right there, where you said Trav is human being first, player second. And that's where I'm saying these comparisons come into play, where Naz would be looking at Travis Boak and be like, that guy took his footy club out of a depth of really shitty spots, out of tarps at the Adelaide Oval, out of these kinds of things, and took them to prelims and semi-finals and all these kinds of records kind of thing. It's very, very special. And this is the thing that I want to surprise you with today. Because I want to talk about Travis Boak, because he deserves to be spoken about. Like you said, he gets underappreciated by a lot of things. And I have 3 Travis Boak questions for you. We're going to get some answers.
Are we having a hot seat, are we?
We're having a hot seat. We have 3 Travis Boak questions for you. They're going to get a little bit harder as we go along.
But that's good. Okay. The hard meter will pop up.
This one's an easy one for you. Your favorite Travis Boak moment.
How is that easy? He's played 386 games.
Deeply. It's just like, when you think Travis Boak, what's the first moment that comes to mind?
Aha. Now, do you want a game, or do you want a moment, or do you want off field?
Let's go a moment on the football field.
On the footy field. There was a game, and it comes late in the year, and it was late in his career. It was a game against the Dogs. And there's so many, I'll point this out. There's so many moments I could choose, and so many goals, so many clutch moments. but there was a moment against the Dogs in round 2023. This gave us a home final. And he kicks 3 goals. He has 35 possessions in a game that had no one at the ground. And it's just him and Robbie Gray dominating. And there's a picture of him and Robbie hugging at the end of it. And I was like, they just got us a home final.
Yep.
Trav's resurgence over 2019, 2020 and back end has been elite. And I think that stands out for me because he just absolutely killed it. Plus these 214 goals that he's kicked. So it's
Pretty good.
every fucking celebration he did too. It's just a fist bump. And I'm like out in the footy field and I'm like, I'm going to celebrate like Trav.
Yeah.
I don't look scary like Charlie Dixon. So I'm going to celebrate like Trav.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Personally, my favorite Travis Boak moment is when we were at Gather Round and he kicked that goal in the wet. It was pretty fucking sick.
I remember that is a problem.
against
That
the
is
Dogs
very
too.
close. Yeah, it was against the Dogs, and it was a very close runner-up. It was the same year actually, which is very funny.
Yeah.
I just remember everyone looked at me. Everyone that was around me just looked at me, and I'd gone,
Oh.
silver, teal, black, and white in my pants.
I was just a big fan of that because I was there. I had a good time. But anyway.
The fact that he celebrated, right, and the background is just 7 different team scarves is like the epitome of the gather round. It's like right there.
That's what I love about that clip. He turns around and there's a Hawks fan, row B. Like,
Essendon fan. There's a
It's
Swans
so
fan in the backs.
like it's so good. Anyway, that's very good. All right, the second one for you is I'll give you this is gonna be the first one that we can describe it. One word to describe Travis Boak.
Oh,
This is medium level because you got to think about it a bit more.
one word. I want to use a really big word because I want to seem smart. I think you go with, yeah, I have to, loyal.
Yep.
Yeah, I think loyal. I want to use something that describes him as a human being, but I can't really think of the word.
Being though, like that's one of those things,
Yeah, I'd say loyal. Loyal's the one.
and it's loyal footy club. It's loyal as a person. It's loyal to his mates. It's loyal, like we've been speaking about for the last bit. It's loyal to what he thought he could achieve, basically.
Yeah, I think loyal to his own self as well because his commitment to everything, his ability to absolutely get the absolute best out of himself. I think Trav retiring personifies the fact that he has got 0.0.0.0 left. He's given everything he could.
Every single thing he can. Yeah, there is nothing else. And we know that against the Suns, he will literally, if there is any percentage of that meter left, it's all left on the field against the Suns. No
I'm
matter how
telling
much
you now,
rubber it is.
Trav's having 30 and 3
I
and
like it.
getting the 3 votes.
I like it. That'd be good.
And
Put
watching him
everything
kick
out
and he'll kick the winning point because he doesn't really know how to kick big goals.
there. No, I like it. It'll be that.
But yeah, loyal is the one.
I like it. And the final one that I'm going to say, and this is because I've seen a little bit of Twitter talk about it in the aftermath of the Travis Boak thing. I think you chimed in as well. We're going to talk about it on this too because it's an interesting topic and it's good for a clip. Where do you rank Travis Boak among the great Port Adelaide players?
Everyone talks about Robbie Gray, and everyone talks about what he did, and is another one that will go down on the list as should have won a premiership at Port Adelaide. And it's unfortunate that they both won't. But everyone talks about his ability to win games and ability to stand out from the rest, and he absolutely did. But I think as longevity across the years, his ability, Trav, to reconnect everyone together, make everyone better, seen how good he is with the kids, how good he is as a human being, good he is with the fans. I think with Trav, he's probably right up there at number 1. But I don't think he's outright because I feel Warren Treadway will forever be number 1 premiership captain.
Pure skill and like what he has achieved.
Treaders was another one that was just underappreciated. undervalued and overlooked because he was from South Australia. And Trav is in the exact same boat. Trav never won a Brownlow, but he's always polled. He's one of the best pole getters in the game.
Times, yeah.
He's had, one. He should have got more All Australians. Should have had more BNFs. He was outdone because he was playing the same time as Trav. Same time as Robbie, and Trav outlasted them all, and should have got what he deserved.
Yeah.
But I rank him very, very highly, and that's not because I love him to death. That's because I think he's
what I'm saying.
the best.
These rankings pretty much take into place like kind of what he's done on a football field kind of thing. But then if you reword the question into the most influential Port Adelaide players, and this is what I'm talking about with the Brad Hill kind of stuff, it's not just about what he does, it's also about what he does for everybody else around him kind of thing. Brad Hill, and like this is one of those things. He might not have achieved that much as a St Kilda football player, but the amount of people he's brought under his wing and created under him makes him one of the greats. And that's what Travis Boak does. Not only just his on-field exploits, but he has brought so many under him to just be like, we can be okay here and we're going to be fine. And this is what you need to do to succeed. Connor Rozee wouldn't be the captain that he is if it's not for Travis Boak. Zach Butters wouldn't be the player that he is if it's not for Travis Boak. Jason Francis doesn't hit the heights that he has without Travis Boak.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think a lot of people forget that he captained Port Adelaide. I think there's that. I think the big people forget that he was captain, but there's a lot of people in the media, and I'm sure I've seen people from other clubs, and I'm not sure your stance, but other people just still see him as the captain.
Yeah. There have been points, and this has absolutely happened this year, where I've been like, I don't even remember when Rozee became captain in the first place for as long. And this is what I said when the announcement first happened. I think I said it on this podcast. I said, for as long as I have been alive or have a working brain, Travis Boak, to me, has been the face of the Port Adelaide Football Club. So whenever someone talks about a captain, my brain always goes to Travis Boak. I'm always like, he's probably captain, right? Like, he's probably going to be there. And like, I've been to AFL Captain's Days at Marvel Stadium, and he has been a representative because he's been the captain. I also had Tom Jonas, which was strange, but anyway,
no one else will be reminded of the co-captain thing.
The co-captain Tom Jonas, but
we had no number one for a year, and I swear to God, no one went to games because of it. It was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Travis Boak, for as long as I've been alive, has been the face of the Port Adelaide Football Club, and he's been the captain to me.
He'll always be my captain.
Yep.
He's forever the number 10. And I'm going to absolutely bawl the living shit out of my tears on Friday night.
It's going to be a good Friday night. It'll be a very good Friday night.
It will be. And I'm very excited for it because I'm very keen for this season to be done. But at the same time, like, I think with Trav in particular, his ability to still put out performances that are respectable enough. And I don't want to compare retirees here. Cal Ward never got a chance to finish his career. Nat Fyfe has been sub and just not been at the level for this year. I never want to compare that, but I think for Trav to still be playing the way he is and going out the way he wants is a full testimony to him as a person, as a player, and how committed he's been. And yeah, I think the one thing that I wish Port got for him is that flag. Because I honestly would put it out there to say he's probably Robert Harvey's the other one. And I think they're very similar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You want to talk about comparisons and
longevity and leaders and
games played is pretty much almost identical.
Yeah.
So it's like they have become what they are, and I think that's a very good comparison. Lenny Hayes is another one.
Yeah,
Nick Rewalt.
Yeah. One of the greats that they never quite got across the line. But
You could build a St Kilda and Port Adelaide never to win a flag team, and I think it would dominate.
Unreal. It'd win every year's flag.
It
absolutely would. You're absolutely right.
They would get the flags they deserve. It'd be like Space Jam, where everyone gets talent and they're just the aliens.
The Monstars. Exactly
The
right.
Monstars.
Except would win. But it's absolutely one of those things. Trav, at least and I'm grateful for your sake. I'm actually grateful for all of Port Adelaide fan base's sake that Trav is getting the ending that he deserves. He's not getting the Cal Ward ending because he's not getting the Cal Ward or the Chris Judd or even the Lenny Hayes kind of ending where it just kind of abruptly on a random Saturday in the middle of June ends kind of thing, where it goes, there goes an injury and I can't come back kind of thing. I'm glad for your sake and for all the port's sake and for Boak's sake especially that he is getting the ending that he deserves, where he gets to play it out to his last game, where he knows he can walk off the field at the end of it and go, did all I could, and I'm good.
I hope there is 50,000.
There will be. I reckon there will be a monster crowd in at the Adelaide Oval on Friday.
From what I've seen already from every single Port Adelaide post and every single tribute, including mine, check it out. Every single comment is like, I put a picture out and I just said, I am not ready for this week. It's not just Friday. Every single day.
There'll be a lot of
escaped the feeling. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I escaped the feeling for 2 weeks because originally when it was first announced, it was like, oh, that's I bawled my eyes out. Then I got through the week and everything, and like we played good. And then last week in particular was like, oh, there's still a couple of games to go. And then you lose on Saturday to a Blues outfit that should not be losing to because they suck too. But anyway, that's besides the point. I wake up Sunday and I'm like, oh no, I've got to start prepping.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is, when we talk about legends of clubs, we talk about people, and you've mentioned Robert Harvey, there's players like Shane Crawford, there's players that have become folklore of your football club. When you grow up, you have players that you see and you're like, oh, I got to see the back end of the career one, Trey Dre for me. And, you for yourself, it was like Robert Harvey and everything like that. But when you actually grow up and you grow up with a player, they become your legend.
Yep. They
become your person. So you will go into your twilight of your years, when you're older, into your age, the older you get with your age, and you'll be like, Travis Boak was mine.
Yep.
That is folklore. That is someone.
You remember it all the way through.
Saw every single game, saw every single moment from start to finish for 19 years. 19 years of my life out of 28.
Yep.
2/3 of my life have been Travis Boak.
Exactly. That's how it is. That'll be me with Rewalt obviously has been a superstar, but he debuted in 2003. I was not really existing when he started. Obviously, I saw the main parts and the best parts, but there's those kind of players for me that are going to be like that eventually. Jackson Sinclair, Callum Wilkie, those two that just stuck it out the entire way through, saw every single game, through all the shit, but through all the good as well. It's those things where you literally, it's your first icon retiring. Where you're like, oh, I remember every moment of that, every single moment of what you've done, kind of thing. It's very special.
I'll tie it all up together because we could keep talking about Travis for the next 35,000 hours and we'd never get any sleep. And we both lose our jobs because of it.
That's fine.
That's besides the point. I'll wrap it up by saying that if you're a Saints fan and you've seen Naz sign today, forget about the number of years that he signed for. Forget about what's to come in 2 years' time. Soak in and enjoy the moment of your star player. Some will be their favourite player. Kids that are 4, 5, 6 years old that have had Naz t-shirts, holding up the I love Naz signs and everything like that. Watching the highlights. We're there against the Ds. I've been there for every single running bounce, every single moment from the moment he got drafted. Soak this in because I remember when Trav re-signed and I was at school.
Yeah.
And I kept telling all of my friends, I'm like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's just going to stay. And everyone was like, nah, he's going to leave. Leave your shithole. Leave your shit club. This, and that. It was hard. I know what it feels like. The day is just as good, if not better, than anything you'll ever experience as a fan, and that loyalty comes through. And I'm sure there'll be fans out there that have saved that graphic and will keep it forever because they were like, the day Naz re-signed, I was at ... Let
me tell you, it was like a genuinely emotional experience. And I've said this on the podcast before, every win and every loss is amplified by the fact that I'm a Saints fan first before I'm a Saints staff member, before I work for this club kind of thing. So every emotion, win or loss, has been exceeded and lowered. The moment today that Naz signed, the initial moment, I was into worker mode. And then when I saw these comments flooding in from range of 80-year-old members to photos of these kids coming in and getting 7 pressed on the back of their jumpers kind of thing, every emotion in the entire world hit me at the same time because I was that kid. You know, like I have been that kid with the 12 on the back of my jumper, with the 44 on the back of my jumper. Like Naz is this living legend. And to see the faith repaid in these people, better than any win you could ever imagine. Like, better than any win. And I said this to you yesterday as well. The last 2 days have been, not even just as a worker, have been two of my favourite days as a St Kilda supporter in a very, very long time. The AFLW has had its best win in its career, and I saw these little girls coming up and getting their jumpers signed by their favourite AFLW players. I saw Jesse Wardlaw, who's this icon of the league, going out and signing every single jumper, taking every photo imaginable. Every single person stayed. All these players stuck around and got their photos and got their signs. And then today, 66,000 members got their loyalty rewarded. And it's been two of the best days as a St Kilda fan in the history of the club. Worth it.
100% it is.
Worth every fucking second and every single one of those comments that I had to fucking read for the last 6 months that have been sign this man. And I'm like, I can't do anything about it. I just run the Instagram account. So give me a spell.
Give sympathy to Jared, but also, Naz, hear me out. I've got one last pitch. We do have the 2.5 mil still sitting there for you. We will now have the number 10. Imagine you and a picture of Travis Boak, right? Together, holding that 10. Fantastic. You'll play at Adelaide Oval, where you will get more than 10,000 people at the ground. You will play at the best stadium. Shut up, I'm talking. I have the talking stick. It is my pitch, not yours. You might not play in finals, but you have that same guarantee at the Saints. Plus, we all wearing almost the same colours because they have black and white and we have black and white.
Just teal instead of red.
Good luck. I do want to say one more thing.
Yes.
With Trav, it's like the feeling that I've had this whole time is it can't be real. It can't be happening because, as I said, the longevity of 19 years we've been Trav and the fan base. I'm gonna get teary here. Trav and the fan base have been through everything together, and when we started this whole journey, we lost a grand final by the record margin. We've been through tarps. We've been through a change of oval. We've been through everything. And it's a journey that he's been on, that we've all been on. And it's been some of the most heart-wrenching, beautiful, tremendous moments of our lives. So I just want to say that if you are a supporter of a football club, be grateful and appreciative of the players you get to witness, because once they do go, they're gone for a long, long time, and you only can hold on to the memories. So, yeah, it's a big thing, but also one you'll cherish forever. Yep.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's one of those things where the legacy lives longer than the person. Legacy lives longer than a person's career. That's always the case.
Legacy.
Yeah, it's legacy. You know, the person and how long their career is doesn't always matter. It's what they bring you, kind of thing. And I know that Travis Boak's legacy is longer than just the 19 years.
That man has done more for me than, well, it's kind of cliche, than any other footballer. But in terms of, he's done on a personal level. I remember when I started the channel, and I took so much in me to do like these little open training interviews and everything. Just ask a couple of questions that meant nothing to them, but to me it was like I get to speak to the player. And I remember the first time he did it, it was like, oh, this is new. And then every week for 3 years before COVID, I would be at the open training, and he would be like, oh, this again, or good to see you. And when I saw him for the last time, at open training the other week. It felt like I was seeing a friend for the first time in a long time. It's a relationship you build with the players. It's so much more than just them wearing a number for the Guernsey that you support. And now forever, number 10 will be more than just 10 out of 10 or a number. It's a symbol. And we better change the subject because I'm going to start just... If you're sitting at home watching this and you're getting to this point, and you're like, fuck, is this therapy?
Bit going on.
There's a lot happening.
Oh, yeah, fucking shit at West Coast. Yeah, not great.
So this has all been a build-up to talk about Harry Sheezel's 54 disposals.
Yeah,
now,
pretty
let
good.
me tell you, he played one of the best sides in the history of the game to ever play down at Hobart.
Yeah, you're right. I like to think that Harry Sheezel saw me hanging shit on North Melbourne last week and said, I'm one win away from being right. And he said, go and get fucked, mate. Have 54-2.
I had this thought, bro. I tried to say bro and then though at the same time. It came out like a stroke.
Throw. Yep.
Yeah, throw. Bring it back. Technically, unless North beat Adelaide, which...
That's what I'm saying. I'm still going to be right. I just would have been okay last week. Would have been nice.
Did you mention the fact that North were going to finish higher than the Tigers?
No, I just said they would win the same or less games than Richmond. So I'm sweet.
So technically you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're not beating Adelaide. So yeah.
You can only hope, right? You know.
But imagine, right?
They don't have Isaac Rankin. Now, we're not going to talk about it. If you come here for that, we're not going to talk about it. We're not that podcast.
And it hasn't none of the findings have been found as of right now. I don't know if it's happened while we've been recording, but I don't think anything's been found as of right now. So we won't comment on it for legal reasons. I don't think it's legal reasons. We just won't comment on it. But
Can't be bothered, really.
Yeah, it's just too much.
See it all the time, you know? Why'd you talk about Naz then, considering that's everywhere? Well, that's a feel-good story.
Yeah, everyone likes that.
Yeah.
Everyone likes that guy.
I don't like what can happen on a football field. Although, I will say, it is the irony. It's not funny because you shouldn't be doing either of these. And I'm not condoning anything. But Dan Houston running right through Isaac Rankin last year and missing all of the finals for 5 weeks because he hit Rankin, for then Rankin to go into the next year and do what he did and then potentially miss all the finals.
It's like a curse.
The common denominator thing going on here.
It's like a curse. Next year, someone from Collingwood will do something in one of the final rounds that will knock them out for the whole finals.
It's funny if it's Houston again.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
You keep getting suspended before the finals.
Poor bastard. Look better, though. Good on him for coming back and saying, hey, they picked me up for a reason. And he's actually pretty good.
You said that as well. You were like, he's got to bounce back at some point. And he has bounced back. So
I back my Port Adelaide people no matter where they go. Because they have this identity in them that no matter what happens, they will respond. They have that Ken Hinkley DNA. That's another bloke we haven't mentioned, and I don't want to fucking talk about him. So
it's also his last game this week, but who cares?
It's just so funny. Connor Rosie's 150th this week.
It is too.
You wouldn't fucking read about that, would you?
No, you wouldn't even know. I saw one thing today and I went, oh, yeah, fair enough.
I saw a picture. They said game 150. And I was like,
that was that. That's exactly what I saw. I saw game 150 skip and I was like, all right.
And I was like,
yeah.
Congrats,
Connor.
Well done, Connor. Anyway, anything else interesting you want to talk about?
Nothing really. Yeah, said Sheezel. I think the more interesting things are what's to come, which is the final round of football, which is going to be very, very exciting.
It is very, very exciting. Just quickly, AFLW round 1, first weekend.
Yeah.
Absolute success. Now, I say this because we had good games, better skills. What might not be done in skill-wise for the girls is done in attitude, effort. And I said it last week, they never give up. But also, some of the zone defenses I'm seeing at the moment.
Oh, yeah. The Saints defense on Sunday was fucking extraordinary.
I was on pressure and one-on-one. That's all it has to be. I was
witnessing some fucking excellent team defense from the Saints on Sunday. And that's the thing. Like obviously there was also men's and women's footy crossing over a lot of times. So I was able to catch a few of the W games, catch a few of the men's games kind of thing. But I obviously watched the entirety of the Saints Adelaide game. And God, the fucking back line was good. God. And like I watched a wrap this morning with Kat McCarthy and Sarah Black on AFL.com. And they spoke about how Adelaide had double the inside 50s as St Kilda, but all of their inside 50 entries were in that 40 to 50 metre zone. And Adelaide, I'm sorry, not Adelaide, AFLW players as a whole naturally can't kick as far as the men's do. So if you're a men's player and you're taking a mark between the 40 and 50 line, it's like probably have a shot from there and you'll make a kind of check. AFLW players know they haven't got that distance in them kind of thing. So the Saints have set up so well for that. And like all the inside 50s were in that zone and were just useless and they couldn't do anything about it. And Adelaide just had no answer. And it was amazing to watch. Saints thumped them. Like, not for a second of the game did it look like Adelaide was ever going to come past St Kilda. And it was purely based on defense. And it was so good. So good to watch.
It was almost like Penn was coaching the women's. Yeah, for the Crows. All those inside 50s for no result on the scoreboard. Where have they had that before?
What was going on there?
Penn, is that you?
But no, it was good and rousing success. And Ash Centra blew up the league, which was pretty cool.
Some of these people have skills, and I'm talking right across the board, men's and women's, and I just look at it and I go, I can't really do that. I can edit a video really well.
Can't do that, though. I spent 20 minutes pre-game Saints Bombers trying to do that bounce. Couldn't do it.
I can't really do it because I have an Achilles issue, but that's besides the point.
But if you didn't have the Achilles issue, you'd be trying it. And it's hard. It's difficult.
I probably would have bounced the ball into my balls.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times. That was good fun.
Anyway, well done, AFLW. We'll touch on it more next week because it builds into but it was a very successful round one.
Yeah.
But we've got business to attend to, and that's round 24. The final round of the AFL men's season is upon us, JT. And the tips are lining up strong for one big last run.
They absolutely are. And what I'm noticing here is there is a reason that the guys that are in the top 5 are there. They have all outdone themselves with some 7s and some 8s. And then you kind of get the next block to get a lot of 6s and 5s and stuff like that. The guys that are, and you got a 7 this week as well. So you're up in that. You're up in that echelon. But like you can really see the big guns firing this week. And they got themselves over the line. NATO and Geordie B still cannot be separated. Both on 149. And Hunsdilly Killer FC or Scott T is one behind again. So it's going to be a big final round for those 3 in particular, and then there's a bit of a gap and everything like that. So I think it's a 3-horse race at the minute. It's going to be very interesting to see where it goes. I'm sitting in 8th. You are sitting in 19th.
So I need to tip 4 different and all of them to get right to beat you.
Bit of work to do. Do you need me to tip first this time as well?
No, let's extend it through finals.
Okay. Let's do it.
You don't have a bad bone in your body, do you? Because anyone else would have gone, nah, that's not the fucking rules.
Not doing that. Oh, why not? It's fun.
No, it's fair. I'll give you the card and it's fine. Do everything else for you, so might as well do that too. Oh, I said that out loud. Whoopsies. If you were the 3 that are in the top 3 and you have a chance at, obviously there's a few mathematicals.
Yep.
But if you are the 3, let us know. You might be getting a Prezi voucher next week.
I was going to say I'll send it out during the week and just send a message through and see how we go.
Right. So before I get into the tips for us, and we give our tips for tips and ladder. Adelaide have pretty much sewn up the minor premiership unless a Christmas miracle happens, and we're hoping for it. Unless they lose to North, which only then the Cats have to win by a decent margin over the Tigers. But you'd suggest that the Cats are going to get a home final, and the Lions against the Hawks will be interesting because they're 3rd v 5th. Collingwood are 4th and playing the D's. Then they'll have the Giants, who just need to simply win.
If the Giants lose by 150, they're a chance of going out, but I think they're going to be okay.
Correct. Brio, also a massive opportunity for them to be knocked out if they lose to the Dockers. Then you've got the Suns in 9th, who have 2 more games to go. So they have pretty much a whole season.
The Suns have so much time.
So the Suns, we'll talk about in per game. We obviously won't make this too long.
They said to win one of their 2.
Suns win one of the 2. They'll play the first finals ever. And we hope it's the second one against
the Bombers.
The Bombers, because the first one is very, very special, as we've been talking about. Don't know if you made it all this far and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I was going to say. Unless you skip to the tips, which is an interesting decision.
Nah, that's fair. I would have. Unless you're a Saints or Port fan.
I was going to say, good last hour. You guys.
And if you're a Collingwood or Adelaide fan and have come here after your game of the year, well done.
Good work, guys.
That's the rundown you'll get from us. Anyway, we'll kick it off Thursday night. The best game of the year, I'm going to tip this as. Oh, sorry, I've got the AFLW on. Whoopsies. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, it's Essendon Carlton.
Carlton's gonna win.
Yeah, they're going to win by 24 points.
I don't give them that much faith. I'm gonna tip them by 17. Oh, it's at the G.
I mean, that's not that much difference.
No, I know. There's gonna be 4 people there. It's at the MCG. MCG on a Thursday night spells 30,000 in the crowd.
Oh, I hope it rains. Just make it interesting. Rained at Marvel the other day, so.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Do you reckon Ross captured that?
You reckon Ross had an opinion on it?
Right, Ross should have tweeted today from the Saints HQ with a picture of him and Naz. That would have just blown up.
He actually, don't know if this is for the podcast or not. You know what? I'll wait. I'll say it after.
All right, we've just been teased.
It's nothing important. It's just like whatever. I'll tell you after.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blue Balls podcast. Pies, D's.
Yeah, Pies. They need to win at some point, right? They got to win somewhere.
This is like when I'm pretty sure I can't remember what year someone went into the final series losing the last. Oh, it was the I reckon it was the Dogs. I reckon maybe they lost a few games in the back end, finished 7th, beat the Dockers over there, and then went on a generational run.
Yeah,
so it could be the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I still back in the Pies to at least be like a grand final team because like they were still okay against Adelaide kind of thing. If they lose this one though, I can write them off. They're done. It's over.
And they won't make top 4 either if they lose this one, but you'd think they'll get the job done. The other Friday night game is at the Adelaide Oval, and I think a lot of people will be watching this one.
8:10 p.m. That is late.
Port Adelaide, Gold Coast. Now, Port's form dictates that they should get pumped, but they have so much to play for. Yeah. Trav's last game, and everyone's painting it as indoors. They'll be like, "Oh, it's Cannon Trav," you know. But outdoors, it's like it's Trav's farewell last game. Connor's 150th. So much to play for. I will put it down as a guarantee. We'll play out of our skin. Yeah. Whether it dictates a win or not, I'm not sure.
I actually completely agree with that. It's at the Adelaide Oval too, and you guys rarely play a bad game there.
I didn't tip us last week, and I was right about it because I had just that feeling. This week, I've had the feeling for a month. Since Trav announced his retirement, we are winning this game, and I will back us in. I am tipping us.
Fair enough. I actually think, and like looking at this, they're $4 to win. That is, I also think Sportsbet leaning into your theory, being like, I feel like it's like the game after this, North is $6. And I think it should be similar to that. It's like Port should be way less odds, but you put in all the aspects. I think Sportsbet have put in all the aspects too and gone, yeah, they might be all right. Yeah,
Suns have never beaten Port at the Adelaide Oval either.
And Suns coming off a thumping. Like, you know, they never really looked close against the Giants. They could have some holes.
Maybe they're also going to absolutely thump us because last time they got thumped by Adelaide, they came back and beat Brisbane by 70 points.
I didn't think about that. I feel like tipping the Suns will be like a good reverse psychology effect for you. We've done that a couple of times this year. And either way, I come out of it happy because then Port win and it's great for you. Or then I get the tip right.
And then condole me.
And then go, I'm so sorry. I'll tip the Suns. Or back it in.
Can't you fucking pair boys? Come on. I will be there too. It'll be the first game I've attended since the showdown, and the first home game I've attended since we played the D's
a while ago.
Yeah, got a good strike rate this year going actually.
Couple of beers, couple of tears with Trav.
Beers, tears, and automobiles.
Yeah.
Crows to beat North.
Yep.
Cats to beat the Tigers.
Yep.
Swans to beat the Eagles.
Yep.
Giants Saints. Tell us about it.
Giants will still beat us, but it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting thing to see. I think the vibes will just be kind of high. I think we'll just be kind of like, yeah, we're pretty happy to be here, which would be pretty funny. We tend to play okay against the Giants at NG as well, or like we played them in Canberra. Like when we play them when it's their home game, we play like somewhat okay. Played them in Canberra last year, lost by a goal.
We beat them in NG a couple
Yeah,
of
and
years
then the year
ago.
before that, played them in NG and we beat them.
Round one.
Yeah, like we do somewhat okay against them when it's their home game. So like I still think the Giants, but I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything like that. It'll just be a pretty interesting game. So
I'm going to be working Sunday and I'll be hungover, and it's be a good game to watch, I think. I'm going to tip the Giants as well, but wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset. But also you could get shown up because you've beaten 13th to 17th over the last month, and could be
no matter what happens, I get to see Naz play football, and that's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, right, we get it. Naz re-signed. Good on you, Naz. Dogs free. All right, let's get that fucking juicy stuff. Come on. If you're going to be either finishing up your game or
I was going to say
getting ready for the airport.
Yeah, I can't remember what time my flight is on Sunday night, but I hope that I get like a decent window to watch this. Like, I hope I get to watch this whole thing before I fly, which I think I might just. Like, I reckon it's like this game will end and I'll be boarding kind of deal, which is pretty exciting. I'm pretty happy about that. So this is going to be a thriller. Packed Marvel Stadium. There's going to be lots of people at this game.
I can't believe that because it's the two teams that are playing. But
I know, right? But
a lot of neutrals will go.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you're a neutral in Melbourne that just loves the footy, you'll probably go to this game, which is pretty exciting. $3.62 for Freo is kind of overs, I think. They're a way better team than a $3.62 team.
Just got found out by a better side last week. And also they missed a lot of goals.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they're as bad as that scoreline suggests for them. Obviously, it was a home loss, and that kind of sucks. But they're a way better time. It's a side than they produced last time. This is going to be really interesting.
The Dogs have had that overhanging thing of they can't beat top 8 sides, right?
And they had that one. Yeah.
And they had that one against the Giants at that time. They showed it up. This generally will be one of the most intriguing, exciting games of footy, and I hope it lives up to the hype that we want it to be on a Sunday, and I'm going to tip the Dogs.
It's always the Dogs in these situations. They always get themselves into these spots where they got to win a game to like make finals or be in the top 4.
Saw a tweet today. For the last 5 years, 6 years, they've been in a position where they either have to solidify something, and they've won majority of them except one. It was the one I talked about before with Trav and Robbie with the Dogs game in 2021.
Yeah, sorry. There was one in 2023 when they played West Coast in round 22 and they lost on that Sunday. It was when West Coast were terrible and it got the Saints in the finals.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, like it was then the week after that they then lost. They did they double, I think. And
double loss, and they didn't finish top 4 because of it.
Yeah, and that was when they lost to West Coast and got the Saints in the finals. It was a great day. What a day of football that was. It always ends up being the Dogs, which is really interesting. I'm going to be different.
Ooh. That's still a pulse.
I'm going to tip Freo. Purely, I don't know why. I think the Dogs are a better team, and I've said on this podcast literally like how many times that I think the Dogs are a real premiership threat when they're going. But for some reason in my head, I'm like, no, they'll lose this. I don't know what it is.
That's fair. Absolutely fair.
I just think the Dogs are really well-rounded. If anybody's going to stand up to a Dogs midfield, it's Freo. I
also think they're going to absolutely expose the shit out of the Freo back line.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think Freo back line could be. Yeah, but like...
Freo that good, considering
the Dogs back line, you know? Like...
But are they that good, considering they've won however many games in a streak, and then they lose to the Lions because they got found out by pressure. There's also signs of that against Port as well, and they scraped across the line. That's what's giving me the feeling. And if Freo miss the 8...
Wow. It's an all-time.
That's just Freo being Freo, really.
An all-timer if they don't make the 8. To be fair, for any of these teams, it's an all-timer if they don't make the 8. Like, 15 wins and not making the 8 is fucked up.
You got to feel unlucky this year, don't you?
God, you'd be filthy. Filthy.
Or you've just played a year where we've won 15 games and couldn't make the 8. Any other year, that's probably getting you a top 4 spot.
That's what I was gonna say. Like teams have been in top 4 because of 15 wins. Oh man,
Crazy stuff. Anyway, you're tipping Freo, which is good. Dogs, Hawks for a top 4 spot. Dogs, Hawks, fucking Lions, Hawks.
I was gonna say. I was confused for a second. It'll be the Lions this one. I think they're coming into. They're doing what they did last year. They're coming into form at a good spot.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Lions too.
Yep.
Won't be any disrespect to Hawthorn. I think they'll
No,
they'll go in for.
Hawthorn are good enough. I think the Suns are good. Sorry, Lions are good. I just did the same thing that you did.
We're running out of energy. Speaking of the Suns, they're back again for the sequel.
That was why I did it, because I was to the next game.
Do you know I'm going to do the tips after this when I make all the graphics? The Suns twice. I'm like, hang on.
Oh, no, I'll just do it then. Yeah.
But they're playing the Bombers next Wednesday night.
Game over. That'll be their finals clincher.
Go Suns.
Could be a top 4 clincher if they beat Port. That it's funny. It's like if they beat Port, that second game becomes a top 4 clincher. If they don't beat Port, the second game is going to top 8 clincher. That's how like close the finals are.
Can only hope they lose to Port. Because it's essentially
a little bit more theatre on the last game of the year.
Well, if the Giants win, right, and the Suns win one, they have a better percentage than a couple of the teams ahead of them, which could get you that expansion cup final.
And that's what I said. Yeah, for those that didn't see the TikTok, I said they played in round 16, I think it was, or 15, and then round 23. And then the last time I did a ladder predictor, I think the first week of finals I had it was Giants Suns, and I'm like, that's 3 times you play each other in like 14 weeks. That's obscene. And then Brisbane Freo played each other on Friday night in round 23. The last time they played each other, round 1, 2024. Nearly 2 full seasons of football. The last time we played the same team.
For me to equal you in the tips, I need to get all my differentials right.
Are we 4 differences?
We're 3. No, we're 2. Ah,
I win.
Go Hawks.
Finals?
No, I'll concede because I don't think anything like that will be different. But anyway, that's round 24, final time. And that pretty much kills us. Because this is in the podcast is done. That's my words.
Yes.
Anyway, you got anything else to add?
I was going to say, we said before the podcast that this was going to be a Travis Boak and Isaiah Wanganeen-Milera podcast, and this was a Travis Boak and Isaiah Wanganeen-Milera podcast. So it was really nice to do it. All the Port fans that obviously watch these are going to be very happy with our with our chat. They'll get through the NAS stuff and be like, that sucks. And then they get to the Boak stuff and be like, cool. So
welcome to the emotional roller coaster that we've all been on together for the last year.
It's been a lot. Literally, from this time last year, you were like, I don't want Boak to retire. And I was like, I don't want Naz to leave. both been riding this wave together.
And guess what? We've ridden the wave, and I've fallen off the board. And you got what you wanted. And that's how cruel football is.
You've had a lot more prelim finals than we've had over the last few years. A lot more finals in general.
That doesn't make it any fucking better.
You've had
That's more heartbreak for me.
You've had better
like putting me in pain.
You've had better team success than we've had team success over the last 14 years. 13 years. 12 years.
I feel like you're just counting down the clock. And
well,
just...
I went
why
to
are you putting... Well, I'm not your voodoo doll, man.
I went to 2011 and I was like, no, 2011 wasn't a good year for Port. And then I was like, 2012 was all right. I was like, 2013, I'll narrow in on 2013.
Yeah, the bloke was captain.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not rehash it. Just thanks for putting me in pain. Made me relive all the horror. You had more prelims. Oh, by the way, your favourite player's retiring. By the way, mine today.
I had to live through this.